thank you for being here. In light of the situation, we figured it would be a better opportunity to have all the media together, at least so we can make sure that we tell everybody the same story. That being said, the Development Authority is truly saddened by the loss of a longtime corporate citizen. However, we're going to continue to work with the corporate leaders to help make sure that this is a smooth transition as they close and move employees to new operations, new locations, and new opportunity. We still are learning more information, trying to understand what the future really holds as far as the location, the final uses of the site, what's going to happen with the facility. But more importantly, right now, it's time for us to help focus on the employees and making sure that they're giving every opportunity to find new employment and meet their personal needs. I know that Quad Graphics has filed their WARN report, and their close date officially for that is January 3rd. What I have also been told is employees have been told their date is December 3rd. The time in between we are unclear of. We know that the state officials have been notified and they are ready to come in and provide their rapid response services and help make sure that employees are taken care of. So, ultimately, the Development Authority will continue to work with all leadership and want to play a vital role in making this a positive opportunity rather than truly being saddened. So, thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Tammy Shepard, President and CEO of the Columbia County Chamber. And again, this is a difficult day for our community. Our business partner, Quad Graphic, was a Columbia County Chairman Circle Chamber member for over 10 years. They were a very much engaged partner with the Chamber, being involved with our students in business, our teachers in business programs, along with our Leadership Columbia County adult program and our youth leadership. They had employees also serve on our Columbia County Chamber Foundation Board of Directors. The Chamber, we will work with the Human Resources Department and others to help these employees find new careers so that they may stay in the community and again build those relationships with those other businesses here and make that a smooth transition. So it is a sad day for our community because this company has been a part of Columbia County for many, many years. And but we again want to be a resource for them moving forward and wish the best for all of these employees. Thank you.
Is this a decision that y'all saw coming?
It's a decision that I do not believe anybody is overly surprised by. The print industry has been in a downturn or a transition over numerous years. Quad has closed facilities for about 5 to 7 years, depending on what their needs are, and this is a facility with 30-year-old equipment. It's something that we're not overly surprised by. We are saddened by, but I think there will be new opportunity with it as well, though.
So this is essentially closing down because the necessity of it has essentially...
This is a corporate issue, much bigger than just a single location. If it was just our location being the only affected plant, the conversation today would be very different. But given that this has more to do with corporate losses, the corporate structure as a whole, they're doing what they need to do for their investors, which we understand. That's why we want to work with them to make sure that the transition is smooth.
How are you going to help them transition?
Well, from the Development Authority role, our job, one, is to serve as a governmental liaison. And this goes for Quad Graphics and every other company in Columbia County. If there is a challenge, we're here to support in those efforts. At this point, we're working with the State Department of Economic Development, Department of Labor, and other resources to make sure that they're aware of the situation and to get them responding to the situation as quickly as possible. Our job is to, right now, first focus on employees. This is going to come at a very tough time for them, so we want to make sure that that transition happens smoothly. That being said, there are many opportunities locally for employment. So we hope that between Department of Labor, the State Rapid Response Team, and other resources, they'll be able to transition smoothly as time allows. But outside of that, the next steps, we will have a facility that has over 600,000 square feet on 81 acres. And the question that we have to answer with corporate leadership, what is the future of that facility? I do not know what their plans are yet. Obviously, their focus is also on the employees, but when the time comes, that will be the next point on the conversation. So,
In the years that you've been here, have you had people looking for a size facility like
surprisingly, yes. I mean, for Columbia County, we have seen requests for all sizes. That's one reason we have a new warehouse being built of 524,000 square feet. That is a component or a size that is not in this market. So there may be great opportunity there, but time's just going to be the factor. How long will it take, and what are the true needs? It's a unique facility.
Can you explain, I remember you saying, and I was listening on the phone, so maybe I didn't understand it fully, there was a gap between December 3rd and January 3rd.
Right.
Can you expand on that or reiterate what you were talking about?
Unfortunately, I do not have a lot of information on the gap. My understanding is when a company files a WARN report, they have to give 60-day notice. That 60-day notice takes them to January 3rd. What's happening between December 3rd and January 3rd, we're still waiting to find out.
What's a lesson or a takeaway from this from a business leadership perspective?
Well, in any community, it's important to understand who your existing businesses are, what their needs are, what their challenges are. We work hard to do that. I know my partners in economic development across county and state lines do the same thing. It's important to understand where a community is, where a company is, and when something like this comes up, our job is to be able to respond quickly and address it accordingly. And I think we're trying to do that now.
So where, you said it's your responsibility to know where this community is and et cetera. So where is this community right now, would you say?
Columbia County is in a growth mode. Columbia County is full of opportunity. That's why, as sad as we are, we want to find that silver lining. We want to find this as an opportunity for that next venture. How can we help bring life back to this site and bring new employment? This site has seen a large number of employees over 3 decades, since 1981. How can we return that property to that type of facility if we can? So that's where we are at this point.
So what's the first step?
This conversation. Next step is, as soon as the leadership is ready with Quad, is to sit down with them, see what their needs are, and be there to support their efforts. So again, when it comes back to it, it's about the employees.
And that's the other thing, we have a very strong relationship with the company and the leadership there. And so, again, just to be that resource for them, for whatever their needs might be.
Any other questions?
Through the years, it's been several different names. Through the 30 years,
Yes.
several different companies doing
Yes.
the same mission. Do we see where we could bring in another company to provide the same mission?
That's yet to be seen. I do not know. It is possible that they've had those conversations at the corporate level. We're waiting to find that out. So,
that? Hey, Robbie,
yes, sir.
Claire Ho just told me we will sell the building.
Do they have a buyer?
I don't think so. Majority of the work will wrap up the first week of December, and all production will cease by the end of the year.
Okay.
So that's
So we will have, so with that new information, one thing we will do, we have strong relationships with site selection consultants across the world, across the country, who have end users. We're going to make sure they know this building is available and try to make sure it's marketed well to find a new end user. So, and hopefully that will be another way to help facilitate new jobs as well. So, any other questions?
With, I guess, a couple of hundred people now or transitioning into losing your job, how are you going to, I guess, facilitate? And I understand that you said, you know, you're going to talk to the different resources that you have, but that is a lot of people to handle.
That is a lot of people.
So, what
I've
is
been
the plan?
informed that Quad's leadership team is working with the employees now to help in that transition process. So corporately, they're doing what they can to help facilitate and make sure their employees are prepared to go into the workforce. But from our standpoint, we're to work with Department of Labor and the other state resources there to make sure that they have access to the employees and that everybody is communicating. We want to make sure there's open lines of communication. When an employee comes out and is looking for a job, they know the resources that they can go to get the best opportunity available. So really, we become a facilitator at this point. All right. Well, thank you guys for being here, and if you have any other questions, we're happy to answer those as well.